everybody.
Hi. We're back.
Yeah.
So, this video, I really want to call this, like, my Divine Feminine Confession, because of an epiphany that I had last weekend, or the weekend before. And, basically, about how I had asked for some things to be drawn to my attention from God, and how I got bitch slapped. It's beautiful.
All right.
I love it.
Share with us.
Yes, and what I really want to do is just kind of explain kind of what happened, and then talk about how maybe the divine and the feminines and masculines can both maybe get something out of this. The situation is that my twin and I are not in union. We do spend quite a bit of time together, off and on, but he does have a karmic situation. He's got a lot of responsibilities, and I always, just so you know, I do respect his privacy and very, very careful about respecting his privacy, so I probably won't give too many in details.
Yeah.
I won't give any details. Don't message me asking, because I won't tell you. No, I'm just kidding. So anyway, what happened was this. So we've been doing the dance, like many of you, for 3.5, almost 4 years now.
Long time.
Yeah, we've been doing this whole twin thing where we've been going through everything everybody else has been going through, and I'm in alignment with most of the divine feminines, where I'm, reaching that point where I'm like, I've purged, we've gone through all of this healing, we're still, he's stuck, I'm doing whatever I can to try to help him, and so we've come to a point where he calls it the cycle, where it's like we really want to spend time together, and we do, but what happens is, we enjoy each other so much. I don't like to see him leave. He doesn't like to go. And then it's a while before we see each other again because of his level of responsibilities of his family and other things. And then there's also the, are we doing the right thing? So when we spend time together, there's a lot of discussion about how we're supposed to spend time together but not put anybody in a position where they're being dishonored. Right? So
Right.
The cycle is that we spend time together, and then 2 weeks later I'm like, okay, I'm done, and we keep doing it. It's getting worse to the point where it hurts him, it hurts me, and it's escalating. Do you want to give input on how you see this at all?
Yeah, no, you both said it. It's escalating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's escalating to the point where, I'm standing in my power and I'm standing in my truth. And I'm like, unless we're prepared to honor each other, and everybody in this situation is completely being honored, then I don't feel right even hanging out as friends, because I think that that's not honoring her, or that's not honoring them. Long story short, I've been putting my foot down, and we try to spend time together, but it's too complicated. At this point, it's too complicated, and so we're kind of at the point where it's going to be a do or die, or it's an all in, or it's going to be a while before we see
It's
each
just
other.
interesting. Do you feel like where does the disharmony in you? Is it? I mean, obviously you feel like you're not honoring each other, but how are you not within what you consider like your feeling or your context of like your internal voice? What's that saying? I mean, obviously I'm hearing you say some stuff.
Because we're twins. I mean, we're very, very close.
Uh-huh.
And we are very, very open about how we feel about each other. We understand the bond. We understand the connection. We have a very strong telepathy. And we're very, very close. And
yeah, you guys have said that. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So the thing is, he's still with the Karmic and with his family. And so I don't feel like I'm being honored. And I feel like until I'm being honored, and this is what I say to him, until I need to be honored, I don't feel honored in this. And I'm standing in my power, which I haven't done for years.
Well, good for you.
Yeah, I mean, we don't see each other that often, and we are very careful about the time we spend together, and that, we're respecting everyone. But
yeah, I hear you there.
But still, it's like there's always a gray area, right? So how do you navigate that in this type of situation? A lot of us are in that position, and so this is kind of what's going down. We don't get to spend much time together now. And what happened recently is this. So I always say to him, this needs to be 100% right if we're going to spend time together. In other words, when you're ready to show up and do this, let's do it. If not, then I'm happy for you unconditionally. If that's where you need to be, then I'm going to accept that. I'll support you in it, even though I don't agree with it, because I know he's not happy. And so that's just what it is right now.
Yeah.
I know, and I know he's not, but it's a long story. Okay, so my conversation to him has been, I have not asked for a backup. I have not, been out dating. I don't do this other thing because I am 100% committed to this process with him, and I know what our soul contracts say, and we're supposed to be together in this lifetime, and I know how things are supposed to look, and so I'm trying to be respectful of him too. So I'm not out, flitting around and dating and, anyway, doing things. Okay, so what I've been saying is, I could, what was the last thing I said? Okay, I say things like, I could be married tomorrow to 2 other people in this town. I could, I could be dating, like I could basically go and do whatever I wanted.
Right.
But I'm committed to this.
Hey, you're damn serious, yeah.
Yeah, I am committed to it, and I've been very respectful of everything. And so, okay, so here's what happened. Like, I deserve this. I could have this. And it's like most of us, right? I mean, all of us. Everybody deserves to be respected. Everybody deserves to have someone show up for them. Everybody deserves to be treated well. Everybody deserves to be honored in the relationship that they're in.
Yeah.
And if I don't have that, then hey, I could go get that somewhere else. Like you're not. There's no weeds growing under my feet here. But then I'm actually not going anywhere. I'm totally committed to him. So finally what happened was I just, we got to the point where he's like, I don't even feel like I can even come visit you as a friend now because you don't feel good about it. I'm like, no, if you're going to have to sneak around about it, if you're going to, even visit me as a friend, even come see the new house I just moved into, I don't feel good about it. And so it's a problem because he's like, I don't want us to go through this whole cycle again where we upset each other and we spend time together, but then here we go and back into the same old argument. And so we didn't see each other. And so what happened was last Saturday, one of the new neighbors, the nephew, the new neighbor showed up, and he had talked to me the week before when I first moved. I'm pressure washing shit. He comes out and talks to me. Well, he's taken a liking to me, apparently. So he shows up Saturday. 3 of us, his cousin that I'm really good friends with now, 3 of us go out and we have some drinks and we have a lot of fun. And I really like this guy. Like, he's a great guy. He also has the same name of my very first love. There's just so many synchronicities. And let me back up for a minute. I straight up said to God, I said, okay, what the hell? Can you, and I do this, hit me with it. What the fuck is up with this cycle with him and I? Because we're, with my twin and I, because we're getting to the point where it's getting deeper. I don't see anything better. It's getting escalating. It's escalating to the point where now it's just driving us apart, which I think is kind of the purpose, honestly. It just sucks. And so I said, I need to know what I'm missing. I need you to slap me in the face with it. Kick me in the face, like whatever you got to do. I want to know what the block is. I want to know what's missing. I want to know why we keep doing this cycle, because it's just really sad. I miss spending time with him, and it sucks. And so this guy shows up, and they invite me. I knew that they were inviting me over for drinks, and they had made, they barbecued and everything. They're like, hey, come, fans here, and this guy named Thomas. They're like, Thomas is here. He's been excited to see you all week. And I'm like, no. So I make it clear to everybody.
Yeah, you do.
Right? Everywhere I go, I'm like, not interested. Like, it's my twin, and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, 100%. That's it.
Yes, she is. Yeah.
I'm hardcore about it. And so this guy shows up, and I'm like, he's like, oh, maybe, like, he brought me a present. Oh, my mom told me you like this. And I'm like, shit. Right? So I go into kind of like arm length bitch mode. Like, dude, I do like that, but that's usually when my man comes over. Right? That's the things that I'm saying to this guy. I'm like totally pushing him away, but I can't say who he is because because he only lives half an hour away now. I don't, I'm very, very careful about respecting his privacy. And so it's just like, okay, it's complicated. I have somebody that we do our thing, and it's him and I, and that's what we do. And so I'm kind of playing it off like I have this guy, but I kind of, we're just doing our thing. And so he thinks I'm wide open, and he's pushing hard. We go out, the three of us. While we're out, we get back, and he's like, oh, now you and I can go have some dinner. He wants to take me out to dinner. I mean, this guy is everything that I'm telling my twin I could be having.
And it's
This
putting it right in your face.
Oh, yeah.
Point blank.
He's pushing it in my face, and he's doing it in the perfect way. Like, I'm having fun with him. He's great. We're like totally, we're having a blast. Everything's great. I really like who he is. He's good in his heart. He's coming from the right place. Like, everything was dead on the way that I've always said that it could be.
Right.
If I actually had a backup show up for me. Here's this guy. So I'm looking at him like, wait a minute, he's got the name of like all these synchronicities, and I just asked for this, and here's this guy shows up, but I'm like, I don't feel it. I don't feel it for this guy. Right? So he keeps pushing, let's go have dinner. I'm like, dude, I can't. Like, I'm not, like, I made it very clear to him, I'm not doing this. So the family got in some drama, and I was like, I can't handle it. I just started walking away, and he was like, oh, I'm sorry. So he kind of followed me out there. He was like, all right, let's just go grab something to eat. And I'm like, can we do this cash? Really? Yeah, let's just go grab something to eat. So we stop at the Irish bar on the way to say hi to somebody, whatever. And he's feeding me expensive tequila. But he's doing this, anyway, like it's not, well, what kind of tequila do you like? Or can I, what do you want to drink? I'm like, I don't care. I just, whatever. It's, what's your most expensive tequila? I'm like, oh, that's so 3D in my head. I'm like, oh, puke. God, gross. Okay, it's going to be like that. Okay, long story short, so we end up going to have some Indian food for dinner, and while we're sitting there, he's basically teaching me, and he made it very clear that he was teaching me that when we're married,
yeah,
he wants to know he wants me to know that it's okay if I order like and I'm like, dude, we're not gonna be married. Right? So we're having this conversation, but this guy is pulling it out. Like granted, he really was doing everything right. I just was not receptive to it. I made it clear that I was not receptive to it. So then we get back to the house. The family was all fighting so much. They had all gone inside, and everybody was like done for the night. And so we had all this food. So anyway, he's like, oh, hey, I've never seen the house. I want to see the house. I'm like, oh, shit, here we go. I know, I'm too street smart for this shit, but all right, let me show you the house. So then he wants to give me a kiss, and I was like, dude, okay, we can't go there. So here's the thing. He was really laying it on thick, and then all of a sudden it was, what do you mean I don't get a kiss? I just spent $200 on you. Oh, am I a prostitute? Right? And all of a sudden he turned. There's something in him that turned, like he didn't get what he wanted, and all the perfect, like everything, he put everything that I've ever said, everything I've told my twin, this is what my life could be like, this is what we could be like, but you're not showing up for me, you're not this, you're not that, or I have the possibility to go do this or do that.
Right.
This is what this guy did. He brought it all in spades. I mean, it was ridiculous, and he was great. I just didn't feel anything for him, and I'm committed to my twin. And so when he didn't get what he wanted, he got really pissed, and he started questioning me. Well, who's this guy then? Where's this guy? I don't see him here. I don't see him taking you to dinner. I don't see him da-da-da-da. Right? Who does he sound like? Me, right?
Yeah.
And I got in this guy's fucking face. Because
that's what you do.
yeah, I kind of do. But he asked for it. I never initiated it. But I tell you what, this is what happens when somebody starts to question me about my twin.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't know shit. I don't feel
you're serious. I mean, damn serious. Like we said at the beginning, but really, she's...
I don't fuck around. Like, don't
Yeah.
mess with me on this.
Yeah.
Don't make me have to explain
You've
this
gone
to
through
you.
a lot.
Yeah. And
I fully believe in this.
yeah, I do. And so this guy didn't get what he wanted, but he came at from a very religious standpoint, and then it was a spiritual standpoint, and I'm looking at him like, wait a minute. you're testing me. That's what this is. This is a fucking test. Because he didn't get what he wanted. And he was like, but I was like, you didn't get what you wanted, so why is he still here testing me, right? Something's got to come out of this. And normally I'd have been like, drama, negativity, get the hell out. I can't, like, it's too much for me, right? Like most of us, right?
So you became aware of what was going on.
I became aware that that's what my test was. There was something in this. And it wasn't just rejecting him. There was more to it. Like, what is the message I'm going to get out of this? And so I allowed myself to get drug into this heated debate. And this guy took me into, he said, so this guy, who is this guy? And then he goes, he hasn't done shit for you. Like, I took you out and I spent money and I'm like, all I'm hearing out of your mouth is 3D. That's what I said to him. I go, all I'm hearing is 3D. Is it all about money? I mean, I'm doing this to him because he's getting like confrontational and rude. So long story short, you know, it got to the point where he said, who the hell is this guy? Where the fuck is he? He ain't shit.
Yeah.
Where is he? Who the hell is he? When I'm the one, blah, blah, blah. And you know what? He sounds like me. And and he got in my face like this, and I hate that.
Yes, you do.
I do hate that. And I said, motherfucker.
In your house, too.
In my house. He did that to me. He came in disrespect. And then he was picking the house apart, but whatever. He said, so who is this guy? Who is he? And I said, he's my twin flame, motherfucker. Google it. And he goes, oh, I don't even know what that is. And I go, and it's not my job to explain it to you, and it's none of your fucking business. Anyway, it ended up getting really ugly. And then he said, well, where the hell is he? He said, I'm the one that's here. I'm here. I'm showed up for you.
Wow.
I did this. I took you to dinner. And I tried to pay. I tried to, like, you know, it's like, I didn't ask you to shell out. Is this all about money? Right. So it ended up being a heated debate, and I let him drag me through it. And it came down to me defending my twin. And I said,
Very funny.
I said to
Very
him,
interesting. Not funny.
yeah.
Interesting.
I was like, I'm going to let him drag me through it because I didn't get it yet. I didn't get what it was. And he finally said to me, you know, well, where is he? I'm here.
You get tested on it.
Yeah. And I said, he is right here every fucking second. Something like that.
Burning desire, absolute laser focused intent.
Yeah. I said, he is always here, motherfucker. I said, and if I married you tomorrow and I spent every last waking moment with you for the rest of my life and I never saw him again, he would still be more to me than you ever could be.
Wow.
And I did this face. I'm sorry. I was like, you ain't shit. And then he was like, ready for this? He goes, really? Well, what does God think about that?
Oh my goodness.
Did I ever tell you this? When he said this
I
to
think you
me?
might have, yes.
He goes, what does God think about that? And I said,
Yeah, that's...
he's my twin flame. It doesn't get more God-given than that.
Yeah.
Stick that in your fucking pipe and smoke it. Anyway, ended up kicking his ass out, and then he was like, but I drank too much. And I said, oh, all that expensive tequila you bragged about. Yeah, now you're on your ass. And he was like, I can't go back to my family's because... So then he wanted to, like, hang out. And I was like, well, there's the couch. And if you want to, like, sleep it off, I'll come get you up in a couple hours. And I'm going to run over and let your family know that you're here in case, you know, whatever. And that didn't work for him. And so he ended up just like, fine, I'll just drive drunk. And I was like, you're not going to drive drunk. Anyway. So here's the thing about it. I was so fucking mad. I was so mad that he had the balls to come into my house and to test me like that. It was like, you come into somebody's house and you question them and you disrespect them and then you disrespect other people. And I was so mad that I was like cleaning, like, you know when you like spring clean, you're so pissed that you're clean your whole entire house in like 73 seconds? That was me. And I was like,
you, huh?
I'm going, and the whole family knew. So they're all standing outside like, whoo, here she comes.
She's hot.
Yeah, and I'm like taking stuff to the garbage and I'm stomping back, and I was so pissed I couldn't get out of it, and I couldn't lift my vibration to save anything. I'm sorry, I'm pregnant.
You're fine.
Okay, so here's what happened. I felt like I couldn't lift. There was like this massive block, right? The negative block from it. I was so angry, and I thought it's okay for me to be angry. meditation was that I just was like, I just appreciated him. And I was like, then it all came flooding in. Here's what I realized about this. Number one, I'm telling, and I actually emailed my twin the next day and I said, I want to share this with you. Because I always tell him I'm standing in my truth. I'm speaking my truths. I'm standing in my power, and I'm being honorable to me and to you and everything. But I'm really not being honest with him. What I'm telling him, and this is what I told him, I said, here's the difference. To everybody else, this is what I'm saying to them about you and about this whole twin situation is, and I even got down to the nitty gritty and told him what I told this guy. I was like, this is my twin. He's always here. And I really, I defend the shit out of it because I believe in it 100%.
Yeah.
And I'm 100% faithful, and I'm 100% devoted, I'm 100% committed, and that's all there is to it. And I don't give a shit what anybody thinks about it. I don't care what you know about it, what you believe, what you don't. I told this guy, Google it. If you don't get it, I don't give a rip. It doesn't matter to me because I believe in it, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's absolutely right.
Yeah. So, and then I said, but here's what I say to you. I emailed this to my twin. I go, but here's what this is bad.
I'm just laughing. Sorry.
I know.
I don't know where you're going necessarily.
You really don't?
I maybe.
I didn't share
yeah.
this with you? I said, here's what I tell everybody else.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if he's not here. I take responsibility also for the fact we're not together. It's not his fault. It's both of our fault. We have stuff to work through. It's a process. And I'm defending it. Like everything you could possibly throw at me about how this is total bullshit and the 3D, like, wow, this makes no sense. I have an answer for it, and I believe in it. And so I wrote all this stuff down. I listed it all out. And I go, this is what I'm saying to people when I get shit about this fucking thing we're doing, right? And I go, but here's what I'm saying to you. You're not showing up. You're not good enough. I could replace you.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I could be married tomorrow. I actually emailed this to him when I was really pissed off one day. I was so frustrated. I was like, fuck it. And I said, did you know I can make one phone call or two, one phone call to two different people in this town and be engaged
Done.
in the next 10 minutes?
Yeah.
I could be dating just about anybody. I mean, it's just like, anyway, I'm telling him this. And I said,
That'd be an interesting thing to get in the mail. Yeah.
Right. And I even told him, I said, one of these days you're gonna pick up your phone and it's gonna be a text from me and it's gonna be like, I'm either seeing somebody, I have a boyfriend, or I'm engaged.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm saying to him, but that's not really how I feel. And I said, I wondered, why do I defend you and me and us in this whole process to everybody else, but then I hit you over the head with it? Like, you're not good enough. Like, it's not. And I was like, I do that out of fear. I do that out of fear because if I'm completely authentic, if I'm completely upfront and completely defend this the way that I do to everybody else, then I think you're going to take advantage. Or I think it's just going to drag on. Or I think I'm going to be rejected. And he's a total smart ass. So sometimes when I tell him something he's not ready to hear it, I get a smart ass response and then I'm pissed off. And he does do that, and it's funny.
Keep you off balance, yeah.
It's funny later.
Later, yes.
It's very funny later. But, you know, I explained to him the difference. And I was like, here's what I'm telling everybody else, but I'm not telling you that. I'm like beating him down. And I was like, I do that because I don't want to be rejected by you. I don't want to be dismissed. I don't want to put my whole heart out to you and then have you trample on it ever again. And so I beat you over the head with it, but that's really not how I feel. And so even though I'm telling you that, hey, I'm standing in my power and I'm being authentic, I'm really not, because I'm not representing you in the relationship in the way that I do to everybody else. And so I was like, I'm really sorry for that. That's just a lesson I had to learn. And the other thing was about his situation was the unconditional love. This is a hard one for divine feminines that have masculines, or even vice versa when you've got your twin is in a relationship with a karmic. And I told him, I said, all he hears from me is, when you leave, it breaks my heart that you're, spending your life with somebody else, or you're sharing your holidays, or you're like all of these things that hurt me, right? That's what it breaks my heart that he has to go home and I can't continue to give that love to him. Like, because when I love, and twins do, you love with your entire heart. I mean, you're like overflowing with it. That's what we do, right? And so I want to be able to give that to him all the time. But when he leaves, he takes it with him, and I feel like I have to cut it off. And I don't want to cut it off.
Yeah.
It's like love like a fire hose. You want to always give it to them. You want them to always have it, right? You want them to receive it. And it's not just, I don't get this from the relationship, is how I've always presented that to him. I said, I know that when you get home, there's somebody in that position that's supposed to give you all of these things.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Right? So he has a massively tweaked back. It's tweaked so bad, and this is a really good man. He is such a good man that I asked him one time, like, why don't you just go get the fucking surgery? I mean, he should have a handicap placard. They won't give him one, but he's like in miserable pain every single day. Sometimes he has trouble walking, and that happened to his back by saving other people's lives, right? So I asked him why he didn't get surgery one day, and he said, because I need to be able to pick up my kids. So I'm going to wait until they're too big to pick up, and then I'll go get my surgery. Right?
Wow.
I mean, what a fucking dad, right? That's amazing. And so that's the kind of guy he is. His back is jacked. He doesn't get massages at home. Like, he doesn't get cared for. I know, so I could go on for days about how he's not being taken care of properly, how he's not being respected, how he's not being honored. Like, everything that I want to give him, he goes home and he gets nothing but shit. And it sucks. It pisses me off because I want to give that. I want to give, and he can't receive it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I told him, I said, I just, really that's the root of it, is it bothers me that I can't give it to you at 100% like it feels natural to me to do. But it also means that you're not able to receive it.
Yeah.
And I want more for you than that. Like, I really want him to be happy. I want him to be getting taken care of. I want him to have, help and support and respect and honor, and he's not getting any of that. And so it's really, that's why but that's how I really feel. But what he hears from me is, I hate that you get to spend your time with this person. This person gets your time, or you know what I mean? It almost sounds like a 3D ownership kind of thing, is how it's being presented from me to him. But that's really not what it's about. It's more about, I want to be able to give more, and I can't, and it's frustrating. And I want him to have more than that. And
Well, yeah.
he's not receiving it with where he is, and he's not receiving it if I'm not there anyway.
Yeah, he's got some work to do. So he's got a journey of his own ahead of him, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Some decisions and
Yeah. And a lot of people are in that position in both sides. But
right.
so my message to the divine masculine is, you might hear your divine feminine bitching and giving you a lot of pressure and saying that maybe they're not getting this, or they really would prefer to have that, or whatever it is. I mean,
Yeah.
the message, I think, is there's a lot more behind the message that's coming from a whole different place than you might think. And so maybe if you can take anything from how I describe this and that resonates with you, that would be great. And for divine feminines who are like me, who are like, you're frustrated because you want to be there, be really careful in how you communicate that. And so
Yeah.
I finally did. I emailed him and I said, it really just breaks my heart that you're in this position because you choose to be, yet you're not receiving. And the thing is, what I want divine masculines to know is that you totally deserve it. You totally deserve to have your twin. Totally give you 100%, and that's all we want to do. Really.
Yeah. Why do you think that they don't believe that?
They don't believe that because they've never really experienced it before.
Huh, that's very interesting.
I mean, from what I know about mine, and only he will know this for there's still, it's not coming from the true root of
what he needs.
those messages.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because really, I just want to be there to give it to him 100%, and that's really all that.
And it's so hard
matters.
because in life, so many people say and then don't. So.
Right.
So it's hard. I get it. He's having a hard time accepting and believing and moving forward with that. Whether it's he feels like safe in his current thing, I don't know. It's just comfortable. I bet you it's more than safe. Just doesn't feel like a safe thing to me. It feels more like
He knows what to expect.
he's comfortable there. Yeah.
He knows damn well what he's going to get every day.
Which is shit.
It is shit. And it's not just me thinking it's shit. I mean, it's a small town.
Sure.
And I've heard, from him. And anyway.
Like you said, it just comes down to what the individual needs. And even aware. It's a lot of self-awareness himself. And I know he reflects and thinks about himself in that way, but I don't think he's really there yet. He's not. It's interesting. It's why is it such a hard step? But that's for each of us in our own way. We all have our hang-ups and things. So it's interesting. It's in a lot of ways I learned a lot from you too. So now some people are learning the same stuff to reflect on and think about. There's some deep stuff there. There's a lot more subcontext and things you're not going into because it's not a counseling session.
Right.
But
exactly.
I mean, I do. You guys, you're doing your dance, whether it's where it ends up. It'll be interesting.
Yeah.
As an observer, close to you, and watch this thing happen, see where it goes.
Well, I think where we're at now is after I realized that, and it's funny because I did pass that test. I was like,
you flying colors.
I don't feel anything for you. And I even told him I get blocked to people like you. You're not him. I don't feel you anyway, and I'm not going to. And by the way, even if I did mess with you, he could feel it, and there's no fucking way I would put him through that. It's just, I'm not doing it, dude. That's just rude. He's like, what? That makes it doesn't have to make sense to you. I just don't. I'm not gonna explain telepathy to you. But kind of the way to look at that now is, I mean, legitimately just told him, I was like, really just all I want to do is I just want to give you 100%, and I want you to be able to receive that because you deserve it. And I talked to a Divine Masculine yesterday, and it was the same thing. He was like, I don't trust her. She's flying off the handle, pissed off half the time. Like, my Divine Feminine is like tripping half the time. She's like frustrated. Why aren't you here? And he's like, am I going to get more of that?
Yeah, it's not exactly fun.
Right? I get it. And I was like, well, it's kind of like this. It's like you got this big fucking gift. Like, you had the biggest Christmas present under the whole fucking tree. And it's been sitting in the corner for 4 years because you won't open it. Because you think, oh, that might not be for you. Or... I mean, this is...
Yeah. It's an IED.
Yeah.
Bam!
Right. Whatever the reason is that you're not accepting this gift, Divine Masculine needs to learn to, and it's the hardest thing to do, but accepting, learning to receive, learning to accept, right?
It's hard. Yep.
And the whole root of that is totally understanding that you're worth it.
Yeah.
Or you could explain.
No, you said it. It's everybody has their own little individual things.
Yeah.
I'm unique to other people. Yeah. So, yeah, I have all my little hang-ups too. I'm not anywhere. I'm not perfect in any way. Pretty much, if there's a landmine to walk on, I have flayed on it.
Like a flying squirrel. Go.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna plant my little acorns.
No, you guys are adorable. I haven't met.
Yes, you haven't met my.
I haven't met your Jeff. I've been waiting. I cannot wait to meet her though. Yeah.
Yeah. It's supposed to be this week, but we had you.
Yeah.
Your son.
Yeah, and my son's. Sadly, my son's friend from high school was killed in a car accident Monday
Sorry.
morning, and so most of the town is right now at that moment. They're like having they're having some time with him right now. So Jim and I are at the park on
Doing
blankets.
some shooting.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
you should just dump some of the stuff on the website and just start putting stuff out there for people to read and digest, because this is a lot of stuff we just went through. And I mean, there's so many facets of what you just said that apply to life that it's it's great because it gives you personal context and story.
Yeah.
So it gives people that. I really value that myself too. But I think you've got some really good thoughts, and I think I've seen you put some stuff up recently about this very subject, and I'm just making sure to point that out. You took the time to write about it because you want to share and help people grow.
Yeah.
And dialogue with people. I think that's really important, folks, is that reach out to us. We want to start talking and increasing the knowledge of what we're talking about and really think through some of this stuff, because more minds make a bigger difference, for sure.
Yeah, and I think part of it, like my side of it is I want to know. Like I want to do everything I can to try to
I think
progress.
Just to be honest, I'm sorry to cut you off. It's 90% of it is just being present. Like, it's everything in life is just you're there.
Right.
And your definite, purpose. You're talking about Napoleon Hill. And I can throw out a bunch of other names, but I think you're valiantly striving in an area that's uncharted waters for many, many people. So I think to me, it's a personal context, and everybody's unique.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of things you can get in common. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's 100% unique, but
right.
Learn from these things. Like, I like that you're out in front of me and all that stuff. So I can learn from you.
Yeah.
Hey, let her. Yep, she's laying on that landmine. I didn't have to step on that one.
Yeah, I get all the landmines, and you just get to walk by and smile.
Oh, I wish it was that easy. Like I said, everybody gets their own individual thing. So
come on, you guys got it easy. Whatever.
Oh my lord.
Yes, you do. Okay. Anyway. So there's that. But I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Because.
Well, thank you. Really, that's really deeply personal stuff. So thank you.
Yeah. I just think that there's always something. There's always something you can learn. There's always Anyway, I'm just gonna shut my mouth.
Well, you've been living this for almost 4 years.
Yes.
So yeah, you have a lot to say.
I do have a lot to say.
And we'll see what people say if they want to hear more. We might have like the 8-hour.
I think could I have made that any longer? I'm sorry.
No, it was good. I from my opinion, it's good stuff. I mean, I've heard it before too, and I think it's just really, it's relevant. This is good stuff.
Well, there's a lot of talk about standing in your truths and all that, but what does that really mean? I just blew it all to hell, and here I am trying to tell him I'm standing in my truths, and he's like, you're fucking lying to me, because So I just caught myself doing it, and it's just there's always room for growth.
God.
There's just always room, especially in this process. So
yeah. So what happens when you get it all right? Oh, you ascend.
Oh, right. Yeah. So that's that.
I derailed you, sorry.
I know, I love how you do that. I got you. So that's that. I just wanted to share that because I just got bitch slapped by God. I mean, that was a straight up test. I know it was. And it was,
Well, you were due for one.
What do you mean? I'm fucking due for one. I'm just recovering from the last set. God.
I'm kidding with you.
Oh, shit. Anyway, so that's that. I just wanted to share. Hopefully that'll resonate with somebody. But, Divine Feminines, if you're doing this to twin, just be careful about it. Be careful about it. And Divine Masculines, if you're twins. Woo!
Throwing pens at you.
Throwing pens at your face like darts. Maybe some of them are.
Yes.
No, because I'm seeing them. I'm seeing them on posts. I'm seeing them all over the place. And
people are really commenting a lot.
There's a lot of really nasty comments out there about the feminines, but
about the feminines?
I mean, from
masculines.
From the feminines.
Oh yeah.
And so, just everybody kind of take that straight and just I don't know. I'm just hoping that.
Well, being aware that a lot of people are doing it makes a big difference too. So yeah. So yeah.
So that's that.
Yeah. All right. Well. That's everything. Yes?
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah.